At the United Nations, Executive Director Mohammed Safa suddenly suspended his duties and walked away. His stated reason was highly specific. A powerful internal lobby was actively preparing for a preemptive nuclear strike on Iran. Concurrent with Safa's departure, the World Health Organization issued internal warnings about a rapidly deteriorating security environment in the Middle East, outlining worst-case scenarios for the region. On the ground, the U.S. military is reportedly preparing a deployment of an additional 10,000 ground troops to the area. These forces are positioning to squeeze vital Iranian economic infrastructure, with plans targeting critical energy hubs. The immediate tactical goal is to apply overwhelming pressure and force Iran to keep the Strait of Hormuz open for global shipping. Behind the diplomatic exits and troop movements lies a very physical problem. The escalating standoff is a direct response to a highly volatile radioactive cache trapped deep beneath the Iranian desert. Beneath the city of Isfahan lies a massive network of reinforced subterranean tunnels. Following the collapse of the 2015 nuclear agreement, Iranian engineers moved their primary nuclear operations 60 meters underground to shield them from aerial strikes. The challenge of building a nuclear device starts with the raw material. Uranium extracted directly from the Earth is primarily the U-238 isotope, which cannot sustain the fission chain reaction needed for a weapon. To get the reactive material, engineers use towering centrifuge machines that spin relentlessly, separating and isolating the highly volatile U-235 isotope. This chart illustrates the danger of that process. Civilian nuclear power requires an enrichment level of about 5%. But Iran has processed 400 kilograms of uranium up to a 60% enrichment level, stopping dangerously close to the 90% weapons-grade threshold. Closing that final gap transforms the material into weapons-grade uranium. A single football-sized core of this material is capable of vaporizing a city of 1 million people. Isfahan has evolved from a heavily guarded research base into an active atomic incubator, containing the physical ingredients required to trigger a regional catastrophe. To neutralize this threat, the United States deployed 13,600 kilogram bunker buster munitions designed to penetrate deep bedrock before detonating inside the subterranean cavities. These extreme payloads required delivery by B-2 stealth bombers, allowing the military to bypass local radar and strike targets 250 feet below the surface. The deep earth explosions achieved their primary objective, crushing the centrifuge machines and halting active enrichment. But the strike left a massive problem in the bedrock. The detonations destroyed the machinery, but not the 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium. The U.S. intervention trapped a highly volatile radioactive stockpile inside a collapsed debris field. Neither the United States nor Iran currently has safe control over the material. The United States military has determined it cannot leave near weapons-grade uranium buried in Iranian soil, operating on the assumption that Iranian forces will eventually dig it out. This brings us to the extreme contingency alarming international diplomats. The U.S. is drafting plans to send its own ground troops directly into the Isfahan rebel to physically extract the 400 kilogram stockpile. In response, Iranian leadership has openly promised a massive, all-out military retaliation against any American forces attempting to breach the perimeter. Executing a heavy infantry firefight inside a collapsed, structurally compromised nuclear facility carries the immense physical risk of accidentally breaching the storage containers. As this map shows, an accidental ignition or leak of that 400 kilogram stockpile would not be contained to Isfahan. It would trigger a massive radioactive fallout event, pushing contamination zones across the Middle East. UN officials are resigning because two heavily armed militaries are preparing to fight over a subterranean radioactive debris field. One stray munition in that rubble could trigger the exact nuclear disaster they spent a decade trying to prevent.